Hey there, gorgeous! I hope that you're having a great day. It is such a joy to see you. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 different methods for applying eyeshadow into the outer V. This is one of those techniques that is a little difficult to do, but I have broken it down here in 3 separate tutorials that are in depth and will be shown to you in real time so that you can follow along easily and master this technique for yourself. If you're not familiar with where your outer V is, all you have to do to find it is put your finger to the outer corner of your eye and press in a little bit. You'll feel the outer edge of your eyeball, and then where it dips in, and that's the orbital bone, that right there is your outer V. So this is the area where you want to focus the eyeshadow on. And you want to be careful not to go too far down, because if you apply eyeshadow too far down this way, then it can drag the eyes down and create a drooping effect, which is the opposite of what we're trying to do with this technique. We're trying to lift the eyes. So you want this to go further up than not. So think of it like an extension of a wing. You're not doing a wing, but you're creating a wing-like shape with your eyeshadow. First method I have to share with you is one that relies solely on the brush. The brush is doing the majority of the work for you. So what you'll need is a flat brush like this. This is one from Crown. It's their C510 brush, just a flat shader brush like this. And then you'll also need a brush that has a tapered, fluffy tip to it. This is one from AOA Studio. It's their E128. You can also use one like this from Sigma. It's their E25, and I believe Crown has one that has a similar shape. So you take your eyeshadow, you apply it onto the outer third of your lid, and we're just depositing color. Less is more. You can always add, but it's a lot harder to subtract. And then once you have the eyeshadow applied, take your brush, your fluffy tapered tip, and use the brush in circular motions to blend the eyeshadow into the outer V. And by doing it like this, you are less likely to make a mistake because the brush is the one that is essentially doing the work for you. And this is why I say that less is more, because I'm only using what I applied with the first brush. I'm not applying any more. There was nothing on this brush. And you can see there, you create a really nice even blend with it. You can blend it up into the outer corner, the outer crease if you want to. And that's pretty much it. And if you need to, after you have done your outer V work, you can also go back with a fluffier blending brush, go along the edges, and that will help to diffuse any harsh lines that may be lingering around. So that's the first method, really easy. Another method that is a little bit more advanced than the last one, but works flawlessly, is to take your tapered brush. Once again, this is the E128 from AOA Studio. Dip that directly into the eyeshadow. Tiny amount on the bristles, less is more. Say it with me, less is more. I had to like draw that on my mirror when I first started doing my own makeup. Take your brush, place it into the dip in the outer corner of your eye, and then begin moving it in circles and form the outer V shape with the brush and the brush alone. And this method I feel like is the one that a lot of people try to start out with, and I know for myself I've tried with this technique at first and I failed miserably so many times, and it wasn't until I started with the technique I showed you in the beginning that I started to get the hang of it. So I feel like if you have mastered the first technique, then you can move on to something like this. But this is again just allowing the brush to do the work for you, and you just blend, blend, blend. The key with any outer V work is, I'm going to say it again, less is more, because it's so easy to apply too much and then you have a big mess. It's hard to clean up and it just looks worse from there. Again, if you feel you need to, you can take your blending brush and go along the edges to diffuse harsh lines. This technique is the best way to learn the shape of the outer V and to begin to create it for your own unique eye shape. And this is a really good technique also for those who have hooded eyes. I'm taking a straight edge brush. This is the MAC 263, and I'm using a darker toned eyeshadow here. I'm taking a very small amount on this brush. And you want to draw a 7 on the outer corner. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to start from right about here. And if you have hooded eyes, by the way, it does help to lift the skin up a little bit while you're doing this. I'm going to draw the outer edge of the 7 shape, like so, and then draw the top. So you can see it's a 7. That is your outer V space. That's your area where you want to apply your eyeshadow. And again, you'll notice that it goes up rather than out and down. I feel like that's one big mistake that a lot of people make when they're doing outer V work, is they tend to extend it further down than bringing it up further. This is a great technique if you are a beginner or if you are learning how to find your outer V and get the right placement for your own unique eye shape. So what you do next is you take a fluffy tapered brush. The one that I'm using here is from Sigma. This is the E128. I'm going to take a little bit more of the eyeshadow I just used to do that outline there on the tips of the bristles, but you can see I do not have much. And I'm going to use that to fill in that stenciled area. But I'm also using the edges of that stencil to blend into the outer V. So when you draw that stencil part on, you don't want to apply it too dark. You want to have a lighter hand in applying that shape on the eye, because you'll find that if you were to apply it too dark, it can be a little harder to blend away. You can still see the shape there, and I'm having to do a little bit more to blend it. I only applied a little darker because I wanted you to see the shape of the 7. But if you're trying this technique, just apply it a little bit lighter than what I did so that it's easy to blend. Once you have it blended and you can't see the stencil that you drew anymore, you can go back with a shade that matches your skin tone and a fluffy brush and use that to diffuse any harsh lines or any areas where you slipped outside of the outer V and clean up those edges. You can also go back with a little bit more eyeshadow and apply it onto the outer third of the lid to create a cohesive look with the outer V, and then go back with the brush that you were using earlier and blend that in that area too. And this will melt everything together and give you professional looking results. If you have any tips for applying eyeshadow into the outer V that I did not share in today's video, you're always welcome to leave yours in the comments below. And if you found value in today's video, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to hang out with me here in the future, you're always welcome to subscribe. Thanks for being here, for taking the time to watch. I speak love, peace, and joy into you and into your home. And I look forward to seeing you again next time.